Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. I want to touch a little bit on a subject that came up in a conversation with my brother yesterday. And I think as a lot of my clients are people who run online businesses, they're people who are digital nomads, they're people who are making money in crypto, they're things like this. There's a piece of what is built into most people's psyche, plan, etc., that isn't necessarily built into this line of thinking, but at a tremendous detriment. Okay, so we're going to cover this, and hopefully it's interesting math for you to consider because it can have a big impact on your future wealth building. So before we dive into that, as always, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate you subscribing. And if you're interested at all in help on international tax planning, either for relocating yourself or for building a corporate structure in terms of the strategy or the implementation, reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, or check out our websites, offshorecitizen.net, offshorecapitalist.com. Send us a message through there. The links are in the description. Okay. So the subject I want to talk about really is investing, okay? Now, the normal mindset that I have seen, at least, I grew up in a small town it was kind of like a resources town, right? So there was, I think, 3 mines around there. There was forestry, there was mills, there was this sort of thing. And it's very union, and people were very much of the mindset of like saving up for their pension, right? Now, as an entrepreneur, I was somebody who was like, pour all the money back into my business, right? Sitting there, sometimes, you're just scraping by, being able to pay the bills while you're learning and figuring things out and trying new things. And, it's not necessarily easy, right? But it's not necessarily this mindset of saying, hey, listen, let's just set aside $200 a month because, that's for my pension for when I retire. In fact, my general attitude is, I don't ever want to retire. It's like, why would I want to stop working? That seems terrible. What am I going to do with my time, right? So that being said, it is certainly true that we should all be planning for the future. We should all be thinking about what is it that we can do to build a cushion of certainty, of security, in case something happens in our business, in case something happens in our lives. Like if you just think, what's your most valuable asset? Some people might say, oh, it's their house, it's their crypto portfolio, whatever. I would argue it's your ability to work, right? Your ability to do things, to like produce income is by far more valuable than everything else together, right? So that's a big deal. Now, what would happen if you were in an accident, right? Terrible situation. So it's good to have some sort of a cushion, some sort of protection against this kind of thing, okay? So, all right. Now, here's the thing that I notice. I notice that a lot of people who are from our types of backgrounds, when they start to make money, sit on cash. I have clients who are making like a few $1,000,000 a year, and mainly it just sits in a bank. It's being eroded by inflation. And yeah, there's something to be said for, okay, I have $1,000,000 sitting around that I can make an investment if I need. I can invest in my business. I have security. But it's shocking the difference that it makes if you invest that money or not. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of an analogy that my brother had run, which is, imagine you were making very little, like minimum wage, okay? And you're just disciplined and you managed to save $200 a month, okay? Not a lot of money, right? So you save $200 a month and you invest that money just at normal interest rates per what the S&P 500 has done on average over the last like 100 years. It's about 9%, okay? So you do that. Versus somebody else, they make more money and they're saving $3,000 a month, right? So literally 15 times more money that they are saving, but they don't invest it, they just save it. Interestingly, over the course of your lifetime, if you'd started at the $200 a month piece, and for your entire career, you would save, so this is what, probably like 40, 45 years-ish, you would, and then further later on in your life, of course, you would end up better off having saved that $200 a month and invested it than the person who saved $3,000 a month and didn't invest it. That's like an incredible math difference as far as I'm concerned. So that's like the power of compounding, right? And So it's just super important. I see all kinds of people. I'm, pleasantly surprised by how many young people are, having a big win, say, off crypto right now. Okay, lots and lots of people contacting me. They've, made hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions off of their crypto investments that they bought, in 2017, in 2018, some in 2015, some before. Fantastic, like very, very great, right? And they're going to cash that money out, right? Or cash some of it out, hopefully, and maybe some of it they leave, and frankly, that's an example of extreme compounding, right? But I think that it's important to think about, hey, listen, how are you diversifying into something that's still producing growth for you? Instead of selling out of crypto and sitting on cash, what are you going to put that money into? And we've talked here on this channel about, I think it's stupid to go and put your money into 1% bonds or something ridiculous like this, especially when interest rates are likely to go up and things like that. But on the other hand, there's quite safe, relatively high return real estate investments. There are quite safe fixed income private loan deals that you can do. There are, you can just dollar cost average into the stock market, even though it's high over a long period of time, especially if you pick the right, if you pick certain sectors that are likely to grow over time, you'll on average grow somewhat. Again, we're not talking about needing to get super huge numbers here, right? We're talking about, in that example, 9%. Okay, 9% is maybe a little bit high for some people, but even if it's 5%, right? So much further ahead. So anyway, I want to encourage you to do that. If you're interested at all in, you'd like to discuss, hey, listen, where could you put your money? What are some good investments? Maybe you'd like to diversify internationally. Maybe you're afraid of, a particular currency going down and you want to say, okay, what currencies can I put my money into that will give me greater security, et cetera, et cetera. Please reach out to me. Happy to help you with that. Again, you can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below. And yeah, happy to go through it, but I really encourage you to do that because I think it makes a huge, huge difference. And it's good to have that cushion that not only can provide you with income later in life, but also provides, an added bit of security. So anyway, hope that helps. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.